Recently we ran a remix competition with Black Hole Recordings and Christina, and today we're going to announce the winners and give you an example of their music and talk through why they won. We're also going to look at the prizes they won and why remix competitions are such a good opportunity for producers. Out of 500,000 entries, only a few made it onto the final release, and trust me, these remixes are next level, and today is the official release date. So you can check them out in their entirety using the links below this video. So first, a little bit of context. This remix competition was all about giving producers a real opportunity to release on a top tier label and win some very valuable prizes. A lot of remix competitions are based on popularity, so people upload their entries and then they get their friends and families to vote for them. Now this is great if you've got a big following, but it's not really fair on the people who haven't yet got a following, and we wanted to buck that trend and make our decisions based purely on quality. Now the talent we heard was unreal, and it was very hard to pin this down, because not only did I and everyone else on the EDM Tips team listen to all the entries, the same was the case for Black Hole and Christina, who produced the original track. That was hard enough in and of itself, but then we had to compare all of our favourite votes and come to an agreement over which three were actually going to be the winners. Now remix competitions are very close to my heart personally, because that's how I got my first big break, because when I won a remix competition I got my first manager and my first label signings. I then got approached for paid remix work and started to build my career from there. Not only that, but many famous artists that you would have heard of also got their foot in the door by winning remix competitions. It's a great way to work with professionally produced stems and to ensure that your music is going to be heard by the right people. So I want to say a huge thank you to everybody who entered. We know how much effort you put into it. We're producers ourselves, and the fact that you took part is a credit to yourself whether you won or not. And I'm certain that your production skills improved just by entering. So let's give a big hand to the winners, and we're going to go through from third place to first place. I also was inspired to create my own remix of this, which you can see the creative process of using the link that's popping up now. So without further ado, let's get into why you came here, which is to hear the winners, and we're going to talk through why they won and what made them stick out above all the other excellent entries we had. And let me know in the comments what you think of each of these remixes as well, and which is your favourite, because a lot of this is also down to personal taste. So first, let's listen to a clip of UK producer VVILLØ, who came third in the competition. Congratulations, VVILLØ. Let's have a listen to your track, and you can check out the full versions of each of these tracks using the link below. Let's listen. Here's the build and the drop. So what stood out for us here was a really crisp, polished production, keeping the vocal front and center, which is important when remixing most of the time. And it sounds fresh, you know, it sounds like a modern 2025 track, kind of giving me vibes from Medusa, maybe Gorgon City, a little touch of even Fred again in there. So this really stood out to us. And we got a nice arrangement as well, taking the energy down. So well done, VVILLØ. Your prizes we're going to mention in a few minutes. Nice chord progression as well. And the break. So yeah, VVILLØ stood out because it's really fresh, it sounds really current, but it's also very polished and well produced, and it's going to fit well on the compilation with all of the other remixes as well, or the other two. Well, three actually, because we got my one as well. So now let's have a listen to the second winner, Sebastian Park. Now Sebastian's also a DJ, and he lives in New York City, and this is what he came up with. So, nice piano, as in the original. Nice 16th rolling bass line. So this one stood out to us because it kept the vibe of the original using that piano, but just gave it a bit more of a housey feel, which just seemed again to sit well with the rest of the compilation. And it goes without saying that all of the entries that won are really polished and well produced. And that comes from learning and practice. Let's get to the drop. So it's really taken the piano from the break in the original and brought that out into the drop sections as well, which is nice because it keeps the consistency of the original but just gives it a different spin. Yeah, so excellent work on that, Sebastian. Again, we're going to get onto the prizes that Sebastian won in a few minutes, and let me know in the comments what you thought of that remix. And so, without further ado, let's get to the first place winner of the Rising Up remix competition with Christina Novelli and Black Hole Recordings. It is the Aquarius remix. Now, Aquarius is a young producer. I think he's 19 or 20 years old, hailing from Poland. His inspirations are Eric Prydz, Jean-Michel Jarre. So don't forget to check out his music because he's already had some good releases, and it just shows what you can achieve at a young age if you put the work in and you're willing to never give up. So let's have a listen to the Aquarius remix of Rising Up and talk through what stood out to us to help this become first place winner. And congratulations, Aquarius. So we can hear the details straight away catches the attention with the synth work. And those little bits of ear candy, again, sounding very fresh, very current. Nice crisp mix, nice and clean. Really, really nicely done. Well done to everyone. So this is giving us a bit more of a trancey edge than the last one we listened to, which is a bit houseier. We'll listen to this one for a little bit longer as it was first place. And Christina's vocals just carrying this. Building the tension. Nice. So a melodic techno vibe with a little bit of a trancey edge. There's little bits of ear candy in there. And the riser. So good. So now let's look at what each of these guys won. Before we start, I want to say a huge thank you to our sponsors as well, who donated these prizes and helped make this whole competition happen. So in third place, VVILLØ won a full copy of Celemony Melodyne 5 Studio, perfect for editing vocals, a copy of FabFilter Pro Q4, my favorite EQ, a whole year's subscription to Loop Cloud, some tasty EDM Tips merchandise like a t-shirt and an EDM Tips mug, and of course an official release on Black Hole Recordings. In second place, Sebastian Park again wins an official release on Black Hole Recordings and a whole host of Black Hole merchandise like record bags, slip mats, hypnotized book, vinyl and stickers, the entire Arturia V Collection 11, a pro license for that and the FX Collection 5, really fantastic synth and effects plugins, and the Arturia Keylab Essential Keyboard, which is exactly what I use, plus Native Instruments Complete 15 Ultimate Bundle, again some very tasty EDM Tips merchandise, and a place in our music production accelerator program to help develop him into the next stage of his career. And in first place, Aquarius again wins a release on Black Hole Recordings and all the opportunities that are going to open up to him from that, a scholarship place on the music production accelerator program, 250 euros in cash, a brand new pair of Adam Studio monitors, and a pair of Adam headphones. Not only that, but he's going to be able to set them all up in his room properly with the SonarWorks Sound ID reference with the microphone as well. Again, a very useful piece of kit, and some Black Hole and EDM Tips merch to boot. As I mentioned, whether you won or not, you would have heard your skills improve, and the beauty of it is, when you enter a remix competition, if you put your best foot forwards and really push your ability, you can't lose. Now, if you want to take part in the next remix competition we run, you can join our free music production club using the link below, and don't forget to check out the full versions of these tracks below, support the artist, and if you enjoy them, don't forget to share them with your friends. So let's close with a final celebration of the winning remixes, and congratulations again to the winners, and thank you to everyone who took part. I'll catch you in the next video and in the next competition. Until then, cheers and happy producing. Oh, and don't forget to check out how I made my remix of this track by clicking on the video that's popping up.